our first session of the day. Continuing from yesterday, this will be our fifth session actually. आज के दिन का पहला है, but continuation में चले तो हमारा पांचवा session है हमारे conference का. The topic is the Feedstock Fix. As India continues to strengthen its biofuel ecosystem, one question remains central to the industry's growth story. How do we ensure a sustainable, reliable, and future-ready feedstock supply? This session brings together some of the finest minds from industry, research, and policy to explore exactly that. To moderate the session, let's please welcome on stage Ms. Parshwati Saha. Can I request you to join us on stage? And I would like to now welcome our esteemed panelists for the session. S.L. Sharma ji, Dr. Shankar Lal, Mr. Sabyasachi Majumdar, and Dr. Mandar Kulkarni, requesting all our panelists to please join us on stage.
Hello, good morning everyone. I hope you're having a very good and engaging session since morning. So, hello and welcome to the first session of the day. We have the onus of setting the tone for the day because we are the first session. I welcome everyone to this important session called the Feedstock Fix. This is a topic that lies at the heart of India's biofuel ambitions and the future of the ethanol economy. As we know that in the last few years, India has made some remarkable progress in ethanol blending. However, as the program matures, critical questions are emerging around feedstock availability, pricing parity, sustainability, and long-term viability. In the next 30 minutes, we will discuss these important topics of uniform ethanol pricing, irrespective of feedstock, the emergence of maize, which takes us to the debate of food versus fuel, and the most discussed topic, AI in sugar industry. With me, I have a stellar list of people. I will give a quick introduction and the first round of questions. S.L. Sharma ji is here with me. He's from Uttam Sugar Mills. He serves as the Executive Director of Uttam Sugar Mills, where he oversees the entire spectrum of the company's operations, including marketing initiatives, cane development. Sabyasachi Majumdar is a Senior Director at Careedge Ratings. He has over 25 years of experience in credit rating, sectoral research across diverse sectors. Dr. Mandar Kulkarni, Vice President and General Manager, Center of Excellence, Findability Sciences. He is helming large-scale AI transformations across sugar manufacturing industry. Last but not the least, Dr. Shankar Lal Jat is a distinguished agricultural scientist. He played an important role in strengthening India's maize sector. His efforts have increased the maize production from about 38 million tons to nearly 55 million tons. Thank you, all of you gentlemen. My first question to S.L. Sharma ji. Should India move towards a uniform ethanol pricing mechanism irrespective of feedstock? What is your views?
Good afternoon to all. It's a good question. And now, as you are aware that we have a different pricing policy in India for ethanol. Three pricing are based on sugarcane, which is on C heavy, B heavy, and the syrup. And another one is three prices also in case of a grain, that is on maize, from feedstock of this FCI rice, and as well as damaged food grains. And there are different prices. The prices were ascertained, as you are aware, that is based on the, in case of a sugarcane, if you see the sugarcane prices, the prices are ascertained on the basis of sacrifice of the sugar. In case of syrup, there is a opportunity cost. Either you have to produce sugar or you have to produce ethanol. So definitely the prices should be higher. And accordingly, the syrup price as present is 65.61. Then after, if you see the B heavy prices, B heavy, you are sacrificing the sugar in case of B heavy, and the price of B heavy is also higher as against C heavy, which at present is 60.73. If you would like to talk about the grain pricing at present in case of FCI is 60.32, in case of damaged food grain is 64, and in case of maize is 71.86. The grain prices basically are decided on the basis of their conversion cost as well as their input cost. Earlier there is a lower grain availability, that's why the prices were highest, and accordingly after that farmers are diverted their crop in grain, and then subsequently the impact were, as you are aware. So the question is whether uniform prices should be there or not. If you see in case of sugarcane, the uniform prices should not be there because of sugarcane. The sugarcane is split in the ethanol, as well as in case of B heavy sacrificing this. If you see in the grain also there is an impact of this conversion cost and input cost, that also impact the prices. But then after later stage, there is a mechanism there in case of petroleum company. If you see, there are some pluses and there are some minus in case of uniform prices. If you see the pluses, the first plus is a simplicity. If uniform prices were there, it will be a simple, and administratively it resolve all the problem in case of government and in case of OMC and in case of millers end. Okay, but if you see at the negative role, in case of sugarcane, it should not be there because sugar is sacrificing. In case of this maize and this, right, because of their input cost on conversion cost. Right, but at later stage.
Right, sir. Right. So we've got the. I would like to ask the same question and get a different perspective. Mr. Majumdar, what is your idea about it? What's your views on this?
My colleague here, Mr. Sharma, he has very beautifully explained the costing aspect. I'll try to address it from the economic and financial viability aspect rather than because he's an expert in this. So the short answer will be that it's not a great idea. Ideally, we would always like to be in a free market where both the output and input prices are free, but obviously we do not operate in that kind of a market. There are so many structural rigidities. Now, let's see what happens if you go for a uniform pricing. Now, if you offer a uniform pricing, let's say there are 4 feedstocks as you have identified, someone which is the most expensive and someone which has the least expensive based on the current cost structure. Now, suppose you decide to keep it at the lowest cost. Now, what happens is you do save on the cost, but at the same time you make the other sectors unviable or substantially impact the viability of the sector, and you affect fresh investments in the sector. Now, if you have a uniform price which is set for the highest, the most expensive one, what happens is overall as an economy we are paying a higher price for fuel. The second drawback is that something which is the cheapest right now, I mean obviously not, the cheapest obviously would be the, from C-heavy molasses. The quantity of that is limited. But hypothetically, let's suppose there's some grain which is cheaper than, let's say, sugarcane. What will happen is that there will be a huge jump in the production of some of the cheaper feedstock, with the result that there will be an oversupply, and at the same time it may have an adverse impact on other crops. For example, if let's say sugarcane goes up too much, acreage goes up too much, it might cut into the acreage, or let's say maize goes up too much. It will affect the acreage for pulses and oilseeds and other crops. So the short answer will be that we need to have a nuanced, graded based, rightly as Mr. Sharma says, based on the inherent cost of production, as well as, the government's idea what the right crop mix should be. So from that perspective, I will say that what we need is not uniform pricing, but predictable long-term pricing so that all stakeholders, whether it's the miller, whether it's the trader, whether it's the farmer or the end user, everyone shares the burden or the benefit of utilizing this green, renewable, completely Atmanirbhar fuel equally.
Wonderful, sir. Dr. Mandar, shifting focus to artificial intelligence. We know artificial intelligence is doing a lot of things and improving a lot of efficiencies. Can it play an important role in finding the best feedstock fix for the sugar industry and for the grain-based? Can AI partake a role in it?
Yeah, very short answer is definitely yes, AI can play a role. But before I move into the AI or technology, let me simplify for the audience what exactly the feedstock is. Unlike the commodity or the metal market, the concept is a raw material like the iron or the other commodities. In the ethanol or sugar industry or this industry, the raw material or called as a feedstock is nothing but the molasses, whether we can have B heavy molasses or C heavy molasses, or now we are doing the conversion of the juice as well, or the another feedstock is the maize, or the another we can have the broken rice or wheat. So there are various the feedstock, how AI can help. So we have seen now Sharma ji, Majumdar ji talking about the problems, the issues from the financial perspective, their experience perspective, functionality perspective or domain perspective, because they have the experience. When the experience comes, it is coming from their memory, and where the memory comes by their reading, going through all these hurdles years over years, and exactly that's how the artificial intelligence can help to do. So AI, if given the data, for example, the feedstock, the yield, market demand, supply, what are the pricing regulations, challenges, everything, if it can be fitted, AI can do well. So for me, to solve this problem using the artificial intelligence, exactly the question is not what feedstock is available, but the question how AI can very well help to solve is how feedstock can, like which feedstock can be used in which proportion, what are the things, what are the regulation, and all this data, we call it as a internal data, external data, the data at a rest, data at a motion. When I say data at a motion, all the volatility which is happening with respect to the demand, supply, the government discussions, policies. So everything when it comes together, and like Majumdar ji said, the predictability. So the available data can tell me what has happened and what is happening. And on that data, the trend and seasonality tells me what will happen. And based on that, we will have decent what to do answer. So that's what AI can help.
Thank you so much. I'm moving to Dr. Jat. So we know the role kind of stellar performance that Maize is showing in ethanol. So as an institute, can you please share with us the roadmap vis-a-vis Maize, increasing it further ethanol production?
Okay, thank you. Thank you, ChiniMandi, for this opportunity. For the Indian maize production, if we see in last 10 years, we could able to increase from 22 million tons to now 55 million tons, right? And it's not only production, most of the time productivity is also in question. So we could able to increase the productivity from 2.3 ton to now 4.1 ton, right? So if we see, there is, different kind of seasons are there, and in rainy season we get very less productivity of around 3 tons. Whereas the winter and spring season, we get the productivity of more than 5 tons or plus. Or even we got the, we are having certain farms or districts where we are having productivity of 10 tons and plus. So taking lesson from there, what we are doing after in 2023 or before that also, you can see in 2012 itself, and onwards, we are just propagating that this should be introduced in India as a research institution. So we were working on the what kind of the ethanol fermentability of the product, but that anyhow it's not progress. So in 2023 the decision was made that maize should be used as a feedstock. So as a research institute we are doing on 3 fronts, you can say, on the research, We are just focusing on the what kind of the hybrids or the varieties should be in the market. So we not only work alone, we are having 32 centers across country, and all the private sectors, along with them, we evaluate the product. And those products should be having high fermentability, better starch. It is requirement for all industries. Now starch industry and feed industry, which are traditional industries. And the beauty with maize is you can produce round the year. You can have the multiple seasons and multiple regions. Everywhere you can produce it. So the transportation cost on the energy is also less. So we are making the hybrids which are having high yield, better kernel quality, okay, and also high fermentability. Along with that, our focus is just making a stakeholder aware, because now it is a new system we are developing. If you see in the US and other places, the corn is directly harvested, then it dried, and then it goes to silos. So what we are doing, we are directly putting in the silos. The aggregators are not that much aware. They were not in the position that, yes, we need to do this. So this ethanol market have, created some awareness among the stakeholders that aflatoxin is a big issue, and we have to tackle it. So collectively, we are making propagations about how we can manage it. One is through genetically, one is through management intervention, another is our value chain management. So where we can install the dryers and other things. So just I want to put people here. We have developed the ecosystem in the Assam. Within 2 years, you can see the double the production, 40% jump in the productivity. Also in the country level, as you rightly mentioned, we could all come together, and then the catchment area development program, around 40 industries are with us, and we are able to develop it. So how it is happening? If you see that we are going for the technology transitions. So mechanized planting with the help of pneumatic planters and others, where these industries can also join hand. We are also working in the many stakeholders, and along with that we are getting good seeds, mechanized planting, then good weed management practices. Another thing is what we have to say, the water. So future we have to make more sustainable maize production. For that we have to go for drip irrigation. So our motto as a research institution is produce more from less. Okay, so less, it could be land area, it could be the water, it could be the fertilizer. Okay, and then how we can make the more affordable prices of the maize and good quality maize production.
Point well taken, sir. A follow-up question to you, Dr. Jat. Whenever a food grain is diverted towards ethanol, we face a question of food versus fuel debate. From a research and policy point of view, how would you like to, speak on it? What would be your views on it? Are we managing this debate well?
Yeah, probably that is the reason why the prices of the different feedstock are different, right? So if you see our rice more largely it is consumed for the food purpose, whereas maize is coming indirectly in the food via poultry and these things. So around 24 million tons of the maize we are consuming it. So food versus fuel, this debate is always there. But if you see, there is vast potential for enhancement of production of certain crops, and maize is one of them, and it is the leading. If world over, if we see, the maize production is around 1200 million tons. The other crops, rice and wheat, they are producing around 700, 800 million tons. So they are mostly food crop, and this is the industrial crop. We are having around 85 to 90% of the usage for the maize under the industry. Okay. So when this thing came in 2023, so that's why the maize was being taken into the en route, because it was a food independent crop. Another thing is that vast potential to increase the productivity. If we see, our rice fallows are around 10 to 12 million hectares, where we didn't grow anything. Okay. So they have vast potential to improve the productivity and well as quality maize supply. So whatever rice fallows in the eastern India or in this particular regions, wherever maize is coming, the quality is very good. The industry will also agree. So what I mean to say is food versus fuel debate. We envisage that by 2047, our production should be 110 million tons. And it will be. It will be 110 million tons. Whether, it will depend, how we are going to achieve. It will be achieved by 2040 if we are going for other kind of policy intervention in the ethanol, right? Where maize usage increases, then we can have in 2040 itself, whatever we are investing in 2047.
Thank you. Thank you there. Mandar, I have a question. from the AI point of view, can AI co-pilot a sugar mill and increase efficiency? Because Findability Sciences has done a lot of work in AI. Can this be done? I mean, that will be a path-breaking research and development.
Yes, so in fact, since last 5 years, we have been doing this globally, using the artificial intelligence excessively in the sugar industry. Like a lot of research and development happened in the agricultural side, but we as a Findability Sciences did the research. We have created and developed the artificial intelligence models, especially for the sugar industry and manufacturing sector, where all the processes, like in my previous answer I said, whatever we are listening from the other panelists, it comes from their experience and all the data or information they have gone through over the years. But one problem is there in the industry. For example, the experienced people can be gathered together, they can take the decision, but what about the continuous process which happens in the industry? For example, the sensor produces data every millisecond. Do you think that any human can remember every millisecond and it can apply? So that's what exactly AI does, and that's the reason you, in your question you asked very good, that AI is a co-pilot. AI is a not pilot. Human is a pilot. AI is a co-pilot. It reads all the information, data instantly, constantly, and consistently. It provides, so the technology or AI is shifting from just dashboarding or reporting to the decision intelligence. Unlike in yesterday's Anand sir's presentation, we have seen the AI factory, the mechanical or the normal factory, if it produces the sugar or molasses or energy, the AI produces the intelligence. And that's what AI is helping, the co-pilot is helping, the technology and everybody, we need to focus on AI as a co-pilot, and the paradigm is shifting from that. And in my closing this answer to this, so even me completing PhD in artificial intelligence, my subject was industrial optimization, how AI or co-pilot, AI as a co-pilot can help industry to optimize all this.
Thank you so much for your answer there. Mr. Sabyasachi Majumdar, I have a question for you. How does CARE Ratings assess the long-term sustainability of the current feedstock mix for ethanol production?
Yeah, so as we see it in CARE, obviously we now have a fairly diversified feed mix. We are using sugarcane in 3 different forms, as Mr. Sharma pointed out. We are using maize in a very big way, and we are also using spoiled grains or surplus grains of the FCI also in a big way. So we see it as a and what we do see is, and sometimes it affects the ratings that we do. I mean, for example, in one of the years there were some restrictions on use of sugarcane juice for production of alcohol. So obviously when and similarly in other years sometimes the availability of FCI grain is less, or maize is less, so the government tries to restrict availability. So if such measures are taken, sometimes it affects, at least temporarily, if not on a long-term basis, the financial viability. And particularly fully, for example, if it's a fully integrated sugar mill, it's better able to absorb the shock. But if you are a standalone, let's say distillery using purchased molasses or purchased grains, this kind of policy changes or restrictions, because of either fear or perceived fear of prices spiking up or production not being there, does affect the viability of units which are set up using that particular feedstock. So obviously CARE would like to see, I mean, from the government side, ensuring that these kind of policy fluctuations are not very drastic, so that the availability of feedstock, because obviously you cannot be there's a limited range of feedstocks over which each mill is optimized. So we would like to see that kind of stability in the feedstock mix.
Thank you so much, sir. Hello. Thank you so much, sir. Sharma, sir. I'll come back to you. We know how maize again, has been the preferred feedstock for ethanol production, but we also know the kind of investment that sugar industry has done. If this continues to happen, what do you see? How do you see sugar industry in the longer run vis-a-vis the ethanol blending policy? How does it affect?
As you are correctly said, that maize is being given the preference over this sugar industry products. As you are aware that out of the tender of 1050 crore liter, 72% allocated to grain-based distilleries and 28% allocated to sugarcane-based distilleries. And out of that, 46% is against the maize. So definitely, your question is right. This maize is being given the preference over sugarcane. If you see the ethanol blending program, start of the ethanol blending program, the sugar industry was the founder of that ethanol blending program, and then maize extended the ethanol blending program. So both are useful and both are, rightly said, both are important for continuation of the ethanol blending program. Now, if you see this preference side, sugarcane definitely given a preference because it's founder. Rather, if the sugar production is higher, then in case of higher sugar production, the cane payment definitely be affected because of the lower sugar prices. So that's why this has to be given the preference. However, the sugar, lot of water is required, and sugarcane based this crop is available only for specifically for 7-6 states. So that's why this maize being given the preference, because maize being given almost cultivated in all the states of the country except of few one, and less water is required in case of maize as against the sugarcane. So both combination is required. However, if you see the ethanol blending program, both sugarcane and maize is required, and as you are aware that E22, E25, E27, E30, E85 and E100 has been going on. So definitely it will not affect the ethanol blending program because demand definitely will be higher in future. So both sugarcane and maize will run and no impact on the ethanol blending program. Thank you.
That's very reassuring, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, we have about less than 5 minutes with us. Any closing comments from any of the panelists, or we can have a question from the audience? Any closing comments, sir? Yeah, Mandar.
So, unlike Honorable Union Minister Gadkari ji said, हमारे देश में पानी की कमी नहीं है, नियोजन की कमी है. So I'll rephrase it in my language from the AI perspective. So now we have huge, humongous amount of data which is getting produced day in, day out. So what is required is to get that data feed into the system, and it will massively help and change the way we want. I mean, then there won't be any problem of whether the feedstock is available or whether it can be used for the food or it can be used to create the ethanol, or like the farmer will be annadata, he will be urjadata, he will be indhandata, and he will be everybody. So rightly how we can use that, utilize that, and AI can massively solve this problem. That's what I would say.
That's amazing. Any closing comments? Dr. Jad, would you like to say something?
I just want to say, if any of the industry is facing issues on the feedstock, they can always, reach out to us. We will be very happy to help out.
That's good. Anything? Please, please, please.
As already our Honorable Minister has already communicated in their speech that the demand of ethanol going to be high in future. So therefore, we should concentrate always on productivity of the sugarcane as well as maize. If these productivity will increase, then our farmers will be benefited from that, and that's, the economy of the Indian economy will be on the higher side if our farmer will be benefited. So sugarcane productivity as well as maize as well as rice productivity should be higher, and we should concentrate on these. Ethanol, as you are aware that ethanol demand will increasing day by day and will definitely on the highest level of ethanol blending in India.
Sabyasachi, the last word.
So, I look after in my company for the rating and research side, I look after sugar, I look after renewable energy, I look after thermal, and in the past I've looked at oil and gas also. So for India, the question is not either or, it's all. We need all of them because we are a growing economy. Our energy consumption is a fraction of the developed world. So we have to equally develop all energy resources. But farm-based energy, whether it's in the form of CBG or ethanol, we need to promote further because one, we are going to be self-dependent, and also it's going to create a lot of employment for the poorest half of India's population. And the only way we can do it is by using technology like what Dr. Jat is providing, or AI, or forward integration, or so that the overall cost of these kind of farm-based energy, green energy, is minimized, so that it can take a larger part of the total pie.
Thank you so much, sir. I would personally like to thank Sharma ji, Sabyasachi, Mandar, and Dr. Jat. Thank you so much for this wonderful interaction. And sugar industry is not affected by the concentration of maize. That's something, as a journalist, it's a news for me. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, audience, for patiently hearing us. I think we should just wrap. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much. Can we have a round of applause? This was our first session. Thank you so much to all the wonderful speakers for joining us today and sharing their valuable insights with all of us. We would like to take a moment to felicitate our entire panel. I would like to request on stage Mr. Prashant Banerjee, ED, Society of Indian Automobiles Manufacturers. Sir, can we please have you on stage with us? Let's begin with felicitating our moderator, Ms. Parshwati Saha. Our panelists, Mr. S.L. Sharma, Dr. Shankar Lal, Mr. Sabyasachi Majumdar, and Dr. Mandar Kulkarni. Can I request all of you to please come together for a group photograph?